Riddle Halacha of the day. You have women that are sitting in a room waiting for a shu'ur to be delivered by a rebbitzin. Rebbitzin, by definition, is a rabbi's wife that is going to deliver a class on Torah. They're all waiting for her to give this class. They all get a text message on their WhatsApp group saying that she's running late, she's stuck in traffic, she won't be here till the next hour. A lady in the audience gets up and says, "Why waste time? Let's say Tehillim." They all start saying Tehillim. An hour later, the Rebbitzin walks in to give the class. One of the women that were saying Tehillim over there was almost close to finishing the entire book of Tehillim. But there was another woman in the audience that actually did not even get past page 5 in Tehillim. How is it possible that we're going to say the woman that did up to page 5 is much higher in Hashem's eyes than the woman that almost finished the book of Tehillim? Again, how is it possible that the woman that did little is better than the woman that did a lot in the eyes of Hashem? Rabotai, the answer is very simple. It's brought down the Shulchan Aruch and Simon Aleph and Halacha Daled. It's brought down Tov me'at tachanunim b'kavanah me'harbot b'lo kavanah. Hashem prefers that when a person, he does a little bit with kavanah, than to do a lot without kavanah. This is the source to Rabotai, where it's quality versus quantity. You want quality. The woman that only did 5 pages of Tehillim had quality. She was doing it with meaning and understanding. The woman that flew through the book of Tehillim doesn't even understand what she's saying. She's just running right through it just to get to the end of the book, like a marathon. This, Rabotai, also applies to Torah. A lot of times you have people that they feel bad. How can this Talmid Chacham learn more Torah than him? How is it possible that these rabbis or Talmid Chachamim or Balabatim, doesn't matter, they're finishing books upon books, and I can't even get through one book? Rabotai, listen to this very carefully. I am not looking down upon nobody. I'm telling you a fact. There are programs, Baruch Hashem, B'lei Hara, they should continue, which are called Daf Yomi, Mishnah Yomi, and so on and so forth, where they finish a page a day. Rabotai, when a person does Daf Yomi, how much of that does he understand? Yes, he gets some sort of information, and so on and so forth, but how much of that does he understand that he's going to be able to say to me after he finished listening to the Shu'ur? I'm not speaking about a week later. Very little, Rabotai. Unless he does reviews, very little. But then you have another person that doesn't do Daf Yomi. He takes the Gemara from Daf Bet, and he does the Gemara with Rashi inside, thoroughly understanding the question, answer, the proofs. Rabotai, listen to this very carefully. A person that finished 50 Masechtot through Daf Yomi cycle, and a person who still didn't finish one Masechet through Iyun, through learning and understanding what he's learning, in Hashem's eyes, the guy that did not finish one Masechet, one book, is on a higher level than the guy with 10 books. Because Rabotai, in the eyes of Hashem, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Comes the Gemara, Rabotai, Masechet Menachot of Kufyud, Amur Aleph. That's page 110, side 1. Over there, the Gemara brings down when you have a rich person and a poor person bringing offerings to Hashem. The rich person, of course, has to bring a bull, a sheep, something that he's able to buy with a lot of money. The poor person, on the other hand, he can't bring that. He's either going to give flour or a bird offering, something that he's able to afford. And still Hashem says, still Hashem says, their incense is to me equal. How could that be? Very simple, Rabotai. When a person does L'Shem Shamayim, Hashem says, when you guys do L'Shem Shamayim, the rich guy and the poor guy, even though he's giving a bull and he's only giving flour, in the eyes of Hashem, you guys are equal. There's no precedence. Rabotai, but the other way around, I'll tell you about the people giving tzedakah in shuls. You have a person in the middle of the shul who says, 150,000. The other guy can't do 150,000. The max he could do is maybe 1,000. Listen to this carefully. If both of them do it l'shem shamayim for Hashem, in the eyes of Hashem, they're both equal. They're both going to get identical rewards because they're doing it according to their abilities. But what happens if the guy that gave 150,000, he didn't do it for the honor of Hashem. He did it for his own honor. But the guy that gave $1,000, he did it for the honor of Hashem because he really wanted to help the shul or the cause, whatever it might be. Hashem says the guy that gave $1,000 is much better than the guy that gave $150,000. Rabotai, the guy that gave $1,000 is much better than the guy that gave $150,000. Once again, and that is the source, Rabotai, where it's quality versus quantity. Hashem wants quality. He's not looking for you guys to finish the whole Torah, or to read the whole Tehillim, or to read the whole... No, Rabotai, He wants you guys to have meaning in your life. And with this story, we're going to conclude showing the importance of quality over quantity. There is a story in Masechet Berachot in Tafei Amud Bet. The Gemara speaks about over there with a story that happened to Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Elazar felt weak. He was sick. Rabbi Yochanan came to visit him. The problem was Rabbi Yochanan wasn't able to see what Rabbi Elazar was doing because the room was dark. Rabbi Elazar went ahead and he opened up his sleeve and a lot of light came out from his hands. Then Rabbi Yochanan sees that Rabbi Elazar is crying. So Rabbi Yochanan now doesn't understand why is such a holy person crying. Rabbi Yochanan tells Rabbi Elazar, why are you crying? Is it because you weren't able to learn Torah as much as you want? But doesn't it say Masechet Menachot Daf Kuf Yud Amud Aleph that Echad HaMarbeh ve'Echad HaMamit u'Belavad Shichaven Libo L'Shamayim? Doesn't it say over there clearly whether you were doing a little bit, whether you're doing a lot, it does not matter as long as you direct your heart towards Hashem, as long as you're doing it for Hashem's honor? So why are you crying if you were not able to learn a lot of Torah and now that you're sick? Rabbi Elazar didn't answer. Rabbi Yochanan says, could it be because you're not poor, you're not rich? Because you're poor, lo aleinu? He said, but doesn't the Torah tell that not everybody gets the merit to have both worlds, the spiritual and the materialistic world, while he's alive? Rabbi Elazar didn't answer. Then he went to the next question, Rabbi Yochanan. He said, could it be because, lo aleinu, you lost your son? Rabbi Yochanan takes out a tooth from his pocket and he says that this is the 10th son that he buried. That's not a reason for you to cry. Rabbi Elazar didn't answer. Rabotai, do you think Rabbi Elazar did not know the significance of everything what he was saying? Do you think he was not learned? Of course he knew what Rabbi Yochanan was saying. Of course he knew that quality over quantity is better. That echad hamamid ve'echad hamarbeh u'belvad shechran libo l'shamayim. Of course he knew that the concept is not about the quantity. Whatever he was able to do, Hashem is going to be happy with it. So why was he crying? Maybe the money. No, because you also do the rule. Not everybody has the merit to be able to live a spiritual and a materialistic life in this world. Maybe it could be because of the child dying, lo aleinu. Chas v'shalom. That also he said it couldn't be the reason. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch was the one who gave, and lo aleinu, Hashem is the one who took. Nobody should ever know these things. So why was he crying? Rabotai, listen to this. Comes Rabbi Elazar and he says, do you know why I'm crying? I am crying, Rabbi Yochanan, because of your beauty. He says, because of my beauty? He says, yes. Rabbi Yochanan was the very beautiful guy. He says, that beauty is going to rot in the grave. It's going to decompose in the grave. That's what I'm crying about. Rabbi Yochanan looked at Rabbi Elazar and they both cried and they said, that is something to cry about. When you have such a beautiful person and eventually it's going to rot in the ground. Rabotai, but we see from the story with Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yochanan that echad hamamit ve'echad hamarbeh, whether you're doing a little bit, whether you're doing a lot, u'belvad shichaven libo l'shamayim. It's as long as when you're doing it, you're directing your heart to Hashem. Hashem, Rabotai, wants a person's heart. And this is a halach in the Shulchan Aruch, like I brought that in the beginning, in Siman Aleph, Halacha Dalet, that's chapter 1, law number 4. Baruch Adonai L'Olam, Amen.